Yeah, Curtis, she and her husband say they've done nothing wrong by posting these photos, but all three of her kids under the age of 12 are now not welcome here at the school, and they can't even pick up their things left in class.
We think of it as artistic or sultry and sexy and fun and playful.
Crystal Jackson, known as Mrs. Poindexter online, says she and her husband take her hot mom persona and turn it into a profit. It started with one post on Reddit as a way to spice up her relationship.
Someone was like, hey, why don't you start an OnlyFans page? And we're like, what the heck is that?
Now, more than a year later, she says she's making up to $150,000 a month selling access to her photos and videos on her OnlyFans account. Some of the pictures include nudity.
And then it started just taking off.
But not everyone is a fan.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB the Flair. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got a mother getting all three of her kids expelled from school because women feel like everybody just gotta accept what they do, and it makes no sense to me, man. But before we get into that, man, do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe. So apparently you have a mother who makes roughly what, 150K a month from her OnlyFans. She has gotten all three of her children expelled from a Catholic school. Now, a lot of parents feel that they can just jump on OnlyFans and they don't really care for their children. They say they care for their children. They say they do OnlyFans for their children, but at the end of the day, they don't understand, man, the negative effects it can cause for children, right? A lot of your women and a lot of your people in general try to be disingenuous when it comes down to this and try to say, well, you know what? Hey, right? This is what she wants to do. That's her life. Not understanding the kids, right? And instead of sitting over here saying, you know what? Let me not do that. They say, you know what? I'm going to do it, right? And people, they're not going to bully my kids. But then when they bully the kids, they don't say, you know what? Maybe it's my fault. You know what I'm saying, for being selfish. You know what? Hey, I'm gonna blame these kids, and I'm gonna blame these kids' parents, right? That these kids have parents that, you know, treat kids bad and raise bullies. It makes no sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. You think you really think kids today are going to be, even though a lot of kids tend to be sensitive, they're only sensitive when it benefits them, right? You think kids, man, who are bullies are gonna sit up here and say, you know what, hey, I ain't gonna say nothing to this I ain't gonna say nothing to this little kid right here, even though I got his mama on screen deep throating two goats and stuff. Like, come on, man. This is where women tend to be disingenuous. Oh, nothing ain't gonna happen. Oh, well, shoot, if they sit over here picking on my child, they're weak minded, they're insecure. Nah, man, like, stop trying to pass over your piss poor behavior. You are the reason your kid is in the situation that they are in.
I want to get back to a Sacramento mom who says her three young kids are now expelled from Catholic school because she sells sexy videos online.
Only on CBS 13, mom and her husband tell our Marissa Perlman they are victims of bullying. Marissa's live outside the school with the latest.
Yeah, Curtis, she and her husband say they've done nothing wrong by posting these photos, but all three of her kids under the age of 12 are now not welcome here at the school, and they can't even pick up their things left in class.
We think of it as artistic or sultry and sexy and fun and playful.
Crystal Jackson, known as Mrs. Poindexter online, says she and her husband take her hot mom persona and turn it into a profit. It started with one post on Reddit as a way to spice up her relationship.
Someone was like, hey, why don't you start an OnlyFans page? And we're like, what the heck is that?
Now, more than a year later, she says she's making up to $150,000 a month selling access to her photos and videos on her OnlyFans account. Some of the pictures include nudity.
And then it started just taking off.
But not everyone is a fan.
Now it's like we kind of are caught. Here's our little secret life that, and now it's like it's exposed.
Crystal says last summer, a group of moms found her site and started a campaign to get her 3 kids kicked out of Sacred Heart Parish, a Catholic elementary school. At one point, sending anonymous envelopes, including her explicit content, to the diocese and school principal.
They wanted my kids removed who are innocent to this whole thing.
And their efforts worked. CBS 13 obtained a copy of an email sent to the Jacksons which expels their 3 kids from school. It reads in part, "Your apparent quest for high-profile controversy in support of your adult website is in direct conflict with what we hope to impart on our students." It goes on to say, "We therefore require that you find another school for your children and have no further association with ours." It's signed by the school principal, Teresa Sparks. The school wouldn't comment further to us. Crystal says she will continue to post on her OnlyFans account. The Jacksons say they're now applying for other schools in the area, but now worry they may be blackballed from the Sacramento diocese entirely.
Marissa, you really have to worry about these kids. They're all under 12. They're now kicked out of school. And the way the rumors work, most likely their classmates may find out if they don't already know. How are these parents addressing this with their kids?
Yeah, the kids, guys, ages 8, 10, and 12 just learned about their mom's side hustle earlier this week. Now, it was, again, they're devastated that they can't go to school with their friends. Again, just learning about this news. The Jacksons did worry about what other students here at the school might say, so they broke the news to them, again, just earlier this past week.
Well, I saw one Twitter post from the mom, Crystal, where she's suggesting the moms are upset, but the dads are watching the video, and even suggested one dad is getting a burner phone. Certainly this one is a talker. We'll have more on this coming up at 5.
And she wants people to sit over here and have some sympathy for the kids, right? And I understand that. The kids didn't do anything wrong. But once again, she's saying, just worry about me. Just take the anger out on me. Okay, great. We're all going to get on you. What are we going to do with you? What are you going to do with you? There's nothing that we can do. So of course it's easy for you to say that. Don't worry about the kids. Just focus on me. I'm going to still continue to have my OnlyFans and I'm going to argue about it. No, we're going to go ahead and go to your kids. We're going to go ahead and get your kids up out of here because once again, parents feel that all schools should accept a certain way of thinking, right? That's just no way. There's just no way. There's just no way you can do that because now you're trying to force everybody to think a certain way. There's nothing wrong with a man with a woman being able to put her body all on the internet while her kids are going to school and other kids are going to see that. Kids are going to have to deal with that stuff, but parents don't care about that. A lot of your parents don't care about this. These new age parents do not care about that. A lot of these parents make the excuse, oh, well, you know what? I'm on OnlyFans. I do this sex work because I got to take care of my family. There's other ways you can take care of your family, ma'am, by getting a job, by having some more self-respect. So it says, mom who makes $150K a month from OnlyFans says Catholic school expelled her 3 sons because of her page. This whole mentality of harassing a mom to get her kids out of school, I have a hard time wrapping my head around that, Crystal Jackson says. Crystal Jackson tells people she's been infuriated by the response to her OnlyFans photos, which were leaked to Sacred Heart Parish School in Sacramento by other parents and ultimately led to her 3 sons, ages 8, 10, and 12, getting kicked out. Damn, right? And that's at 3 sons, 3 boys, right? They need to go to another school anyway. Because if I was her child, I would be like, man, I need to get out of this school anyway. I need to get out of school anyway because I don't need anybody trying to come up to my face showing me what my mama looked like butt naked. Like that's just, and once again, like I said, it's just crazy that a lot of your women today feel like that won't ever happen. It's just crazy to me. But once again, the people, man, who tend to be disingenuous always try to look for the bright side in every bad situation. All the cars in the world could be blowing up right now. And somebody will sit up here and say, well, you know, look at the bright side. At least our houses ain't blowing up. All the houses can blow up in the world. Well, look at the bright side, right? So, you know, hey, at least we got some underground bunkers that we can, like they always try to look for a bright side out of a very, 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 very bad situation. It's like, man, no, you need to worry about the situation. Don't be worrying about the bright side, right? This is what some of your parents do. They try to look at the bright side and it's like, well, the bright side is I get to take care of my family and, you know, my kids are fed. But the downside is your kid's about to sit over here and build up trauma because of you. Your kid's about to get picked on because of you. Your kid's gonna have to transfer because of you. Your kids got expelled because of you. But guess what? Let's look at the bright side. At least you're making some money. And some people will sit up here and say, man, why is the school so focused and so worried about what she has going on in her personal life? This and that, right? Trying to make excuses for her behavior. And it's like, okay, listen, think about it, right? Just think about it. Number one, it's a Catholic school. People, it's a Catholic school. That's number one. Number two, if that student takes his life or her life because their kid is going to continue to get bullied, their kid can sit up here and tell the teacher as much as you want, but it's going to continue to happen. Everybody is going to constantly do something or say something. Let's just say he do go up there and the teachers get them to stop. Do you really think the kids ain't going to be sitting over there? Also understand that is going to be a distraction.
Nigga, where your mom at, nigga? Hey, nigga, where your mom at?
Yes, that is going to be a distraction to some kids in the school. In a Catholic school, a religious school, don't want that shit around there. Don't want none of that crap around there. So then you have a kid who sits up here, takes his own life because the mom wanted to be selfish, right? So she's gonna sit over here, point fingers at the business, point fingers at the Catholic school. Oh, you're bullying. Y'all got kids that bully. My kid done said something so many times and da. Even let's just say he didn't take his life or she didn't take his life. It's mainly gonna be a boy. But if he didn't take his life, no matter what school he goes to, they're going to find his mama. So then this mother's going to sit over here and say, well, y'all have an issue with how y'all control y'all bullies, how y'all control y'all students, right? Instead of taking accountability, she's going to push blame on the school and say, what's up with this, right? Y'all don't have like no bully program or something? Y'all don't have no bully program or something? Right? And then the school is going to have to sit over here and address that. The school is going to have to talk about that. So now the school has a tainted name, all because a mother couldn't just say, you know what, let me have some self-respect. And the crazy thing is, that's what my father said to me some years back when I was messing up. And, and I'm like, hey, man, I did this and you don't even take credit for it. And he's like, man, you're trying to look for the bright side of things. You can't do that. You can't do that because you're sitting over here, once again, you're sitting over here looking at your life burning, but you try to look for the bright side. You try to look for the thing that ain't burning, right? It could be the small little piece. It could be small little piece that ain't burning, but yet everything all over here is burning. You're just worried about this small little piece. And that's how a lot of your leftists think. That's how a lot of your liberals think. That's how a lot of your women who want to do sex work think. Well, at least I'm making some money, right? But at what cost though? What do you have to sacrifice to that? You're sacrificing your kids' peace because of that. That's not even the worst part. So then she says, my kids are really good and all this is doing is hurting them. Crystal, 44, says, take me down. That's fine, but leave my kids out of this. That's consequences. That's part of the consequences. Once again, that's part of the consequences. Women love to sit up here and tell men, oh, well, y'all cheat. Y'all don't like to have the consequences that come with it. Come on now. I mean, the list goes on. But she has to take accountability for this stuff. You have to take accountability for it. So then she says, I didn't want to be put out there, but at some point I have to stand up and say I can't take it anymore because this behavior is horrible. She adds, yes, your behavior is horrible. You're saying their behavior is horrible, but your behavior is not horrible? Come on, man. You got your kids kicked out of school, dude. Then she says, when contacted by people, Thressa Sparks, the principal at Sacred Heart Prayer School, said she could not provide any information on the situation. They don't have to, right? We're living in a world where everybody has to accept you. That's crazy. Like, prime examples with religion, right? It's so religion. It's kind of, it's iffy a little bit because when you look at people who are part of a community that we all know that I'm talking about, you look at that, right? We already know, man, in the Bible it says, you don't partake in that stuff. But hey, people want to do that stuff anyway. But now you having churches saying, you know what? Hey, we still have to accept them because we're gonna get canceled if we don't, right? We're gonna get canceled if we don't. And it's just like, man, hey, once again, not everything can be accepted. Not everything can be accepted, right? Not everybody don't have to accept every single thing, man, that goes on. But it's sad, man, that we have to. It's sad that in this society, we're going to have to start accepting some of these people. You sit over here and tell a girl, don't sit over here and sleep around. You're a slut shaming. You have to accept piss poor behavior. You got somebody, man, that's fat. You know, you say, hey, man, go to the gym. Oh, you're fat phobic. So now I have to accept you being fat. Now I have to accept unhealthy behavior. I have to accept you taking up 3 seats when you go sit down. I don't want to date a trans. Oh, well, you don't want to date you don't want to date a trans. No, you're transphobic. Now I gotta accept dating trans now. Because if I don't, now I'm transphobic somehow. Then the principal goes on to say, we cannot discuss the status or circumstances of any member of our school or parish community, Sparks says. Crystal says she and her husband of 14 years, named Chris, turned to the platform, talking about OnlyFans, in September 2019 after experiencing marital problems that had them on the brink of divorce. Right? So, hey, people, listen. You're out here going through issues with your wife, going through issues with your boyfriend, going through issues with your husband or whatever. Right? So to spice it up, you know what? Hey, baby, go make some money. Even though this has nothing to do with our relationship, go make some money. Go put your body on OnlyFans. Let every man see what you look like naked or damn near naked. That's going to help spice our relationship. People understand it's only going to help her. And I'm pretty sure she's the issue. I'm pretty sure the only issues that was in that relationship was her. She got herself an imp though, right? Let's keep reading. I was missing that intimacy we had. And a lot of it was because I was going through menopause. She explains. Understanding, like, you know, I understand I'm not a female, but menopause means you just can't have kids. I don't know how that's going to mess up your sexual performance. But hey, you know, what do I know? So then she also says, no matter what you do, you don't feel attractive or sexy. So we tried different things to spice up our marriage. And spicing up your marriage, putting yourself online for other men to see. So I would just assume that if he's willing to do that to make her happy, then I'm pretty sure he is willing to sit in the corner and watch his wife get derailed. Let's just be real. Your relationship is lacking intimacy. I would think you would go out here and go look for another man, right? I mean, for me, generally speaking, if women feel some type of way about a man in bed, or we're lacking intimacy, or he doesn't do it right, do this, women will go out here and go find another man, not jump on the internet. But here's my thing, right? You know, we're living in a world, man, where everybody's like, people are unpredictable. But yeah, so think about it, right? He's allowing that. So just imagine if he's allowing this, it's going to get to the point where she's going to say, well, you know what? I want to put, this is not fun to me anymore. You know, maybe can I get another man? And then fast forward, right? That ain't good enough. Well, maybe can I get a few men? And next chance you know, this dude sitting over here in the corner on X videos or Cornhub, sitting over here watching his wife get derailed by 35 dudes. You know what I'm saying? That is what makes her happy. That is fulfilling for her. That's going to fulfill her fantasies. Getting derailed by some men. See, because she's already sitting over here saying, well, you know what? Our relationship was lacking spice. Let me go ahead and get validation from other men to make me happy, to make me feel like I'm beautiful, to make me feel like if your man's validation ain't enough, then I'm sorry, bro. Like you're the issue. You're the issue. You got a bunch of kids. I mean, listen, you're not going to be 20 your whole life. You know what I'm saying? So you're going through menopause. That's part of life. It's part of life. But going through menopause and then sitting over here saying, well, you know what? I need other men's validation. That relationship is going to fail. And once again, he's a simp allowing this to happen. I mean, and look how hypocritical women tend to be today. Look at what she said in this article. She says, no matter what you do, you don't feel attracted or sexy. So we tried different things to spice up our marriage. People, listen, she said, no matter what you do not feel attracted or sexy. So that means your man's validation, what your man did for you wasn't good enough. Your people saying, baby, you look good. You look good, baby. You don't need to do all this stuff. You look good. Right? Oh no, that's not good enough for me. Oh man, my husband, that's not good enough for me. But putting yourself on the internet and being butt naked, getting validation from other men that you don't even know, from strangers that you don't even know, somehow that makes you happy. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of money. That makes you happy. So you contradicted yourself. Hypocritical. Women don't, a lot of you women don't know what they want. A lot of you women don't know how to act. And this is why marriage rates are low, because men don't want to deal with stuff like this. I mean, you're in your 30s, probably 40s, with kids, and you say some stuff like this, and do some stuff like this. Now you got your kids kicked out of school. You want to be this religious person, but you're doing stuff like that. It just makes no sense to me. Let's just be real. I mean, because once again, this just seems selfish, right? So, and plus, it's coming from her. This is what she is saying, right? So she's trying to put herself in the light. She's probably the issue in that marriage. He just don't have enough nuts to leave, right? But let's just be real. She's probably the issue in that marriage. Why do I say that? Because first of all, it's coming from her. Second of all, a lot of you women will try to make it seem as if the man is the issue, right? Because that's how I'm making it seem. They're after experiencing marital problems that had them on the brink of divorce, right? Oh yeah, I'm not feeling it. She's obviously saying he was an issue, right? And see, here's the thing. Why go on the internet and throw yourself out there? That doesn't work. That doesn't work on your marriage. Working on your marriage, maybe go see a therapist, maybe go talk to somebody, maybe sit down and work it out, right? But to sit up here and put yourself online is a piss poor excuse. You're just trying to have an excuse for your piss poor behavior. So then she goes on to say, it's a way that I can work on our intimacy and I can live out my fantasies. Once again, it's all about her. It's all about her. Trying to make it seem as if he's the issue, but it's all about her, right? She wants that marriage to work for her, right? It's not going to work for him. He doesn't benefit from this. He gets a little bit of money. Whoop-de-doo, but everybody gets to see his wife. And more than likely, she's keeping that money. The brother is an imp. She explains, in doing these pictures, it gives you the self-confidence where I'm like, I do feel sexy again, right? You're getting your self-confidence from other men and not your own man. That makes no sense. So then she says, it has made our relationship so much more better, and the intimacy part and the bond of our marriage has gotten stronger. She adds, so you sit over here getting attention from other guys, putting yourself out there for other guys. That's what you need. That's what makes you feel like a bad woman now. That makes you feel sexy now. Instead of validation from your man. In July, things became problematic for the couple when a dad from Sacred Heart Parish School stumbled upon Crystal's OnlyFans page. Crystal says he told his wife, who eventually spread the news around the school. Right, and I'm gonna just leave it there, man. But it's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. She has to get validation from other men, and this is why this stuff is so destructive. This is why, man, sex work is destructive. This is why sex work is so destructive. You want validation from other men instead of getting validation from your own man. And you think that stuff is okay. And then and of course the man is going to agree with it because, oh man, I love my woman. I love her so much and I don't want to leave her and we got kids. But your woman is out here saying what you're doing ain't good enough. So she needs validation from other men to stay in a marriage with you. How does that sound? She needs validation from other men to stay with you. That doesn't make no sense. Y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe.